Hello, everybody. This is Elisha Keating from WisdomSeekers.net. This is my logo, Phoenix Rampant or the Phoenix Rising. This is for February 1st, 2024. I'm trying to remember if there's something that happens on February 4th. But February 1st, I don't think so. I think February 14th is the next big day. So let's go with February 1st. It does mark that we have 11 months left in this year. Countdown already? Well, let's see. But the energy for today, I'm not quite sure how to describe it. I think it feels a little lost right now. People are not sure where they're going, what they're doing, what's the next step in their lives. They're not even sure what they can make the next step in their lives, which is very hard because those people around them that are willing to go on will be sorely in pain if they choose not to. So just remember, when it gets so bad you cannot think straight, try to remember that this too shall pass. And that's from Saul, I believe. But I told my kids that all the time they're growing up, and their lives are really hard, and I hated it. I would just tell them, this too shall pass. Whether it helped them or not, I don't know, but it helped me, so I use it for my children. And when you look around at how that life is a little bit hard right now, this too shall pass. It's not something that will last immemorial. How do we deal with that? Mostly, you just hunker down, look after yourself, self-care, a lot of self-care on days like that. Or immerse yourself into something that will help. With your working, immerse yourself into working. If you aren't working, immerse yourself into a book. But get out of your own way. Don't think. Try really hard not to think. And when you're in a deep depression, it's terribly hard not to just wallow in that sense of horribleness. And I've been in depressions. I know what it's like. What I always did was I always put one foot in front of the other, and I just literally dragged myself through one foot and then the next until that energy passed. I remember I lived in the other side of the country when I was just young, and my daughter was just born. And I absolutely loathed living in that particular place. And so how I did it was, okay, there's a show at 10 o'clock, I watch that for half an hour. Then I can do a little bit of housework. And then I can watch the next show for another hour. Then I can make lunch for both of us. Then another show, half-hour show. And I marked the shows because when I was watching the shows, I was watching them. I wasn't thinking about me. I literally would drag myself through the day, and then I'd make supper and things like that. But my days were long, and they were hard, and I kept telling myself, this too shall pass. Well, of course it did. And I had a lot of adventures, a lot of good adventures after that, and 2 more daughters. But in the meantime, to get through that time, it was miserable for me. And I can remember it as a memory. I don't remember it as an emotion, because it no longer is important to me, and I don't have those particular kind of energies where I drag myself through the day just to get to the end of it. And I don't, but that's something that I learned with age, because back then I was 40 years younger than I am now. Maybe a little longer than 40 years longer. But I lived through it. And eventually, as my daughter grew, and she provided me with more joy, I got out of it. But I didn't have, I lived in a country, I didn't speak the language. I didn't have friends. And all the friends I knew were back here in the English-speaking part of the world, of my world. And I was extremely lonely. And of course, I'm no longer married, so it's obvious that the relationship I was in was not fulfilling either. So at that point, I had very little. But if you can live through it, where you can drag yourself through the days, you will get to a place where you can survive it. And that's why I spent a long time talking about that. I don't know, I'm just trying to say that even though life appears to be a dead end, it's not. It will continue. It will grow. It will become more. So let's do the cards, because I don't really have much more to say than you can survive today and the next day and the next day, as long as you can. And if you can't, reach out to somebody. I had nobody back then. We didn't have internet. We didn't have it cost a heck of a lot to call long distance. We don't have those things. You can call all over the world now, make friends all over the world. Life has changed. So don't close yourself off from having relationships. Don't get scammed either, because there are a lot of them out right now. Okay, so the energy is very powerful, actually. And when you're going through this particular kind of energy, honestly, it's release energy. And most people don't realize that you're releasing that which no longer serves you. So allow, as you go through this frustration, say, I no longer need you, thank you, please leave. And pull in just white light. You don't have to put an emotion to it. You don't have to put a feeling to it. Just pull the energy in and let it fill up the spot where you've shoved that other stuff out. And soon, very quickly, you will be in a place where you'd like to be. And that was the Six of Swords, right? And they also have the Ace of Swords. And allow that which no longer serves, subconscious, to release and go. Okay? So we'll take you to a new place, a new future, which doesn't have to be the future you envision. It can be a brand new, totally, I never thought I could do that kind of future, which is maybe more fun than what you thought, because you're cleaning up old energy that doesn't serve you. And it will, well, of course, you want to do the balance energy, right? You want to do the balance between the male, the female. And with you listen to a lot of online stuff, you want to maybe look at yourself and say, does this fit me? Is it true? Do I like it? And I pulled a lot of very negative cards today. And this card is the least negative, when it just says, I don't know how to get out. Don't worry about it. Your way will show. This one, don't feel that you have to do it alone. And this one, it's a mini death. Mini deaths give you clean energy, new energy. And this one, maybe it's time not to protect yourself so much. Maybe it's time to let go, because that gives you a huge healing. And that's what we want, huge healings. After you get to the other side, you get 10 of Cups. Once you get to the other side, you create a new form of joy and happiness. And happiness is different from joy. Happiness, it comes, it goes. But joy is a strong sense of, I know what's happening. I know. All right? So just allow that to happen. So I hope this is any way beneficial for any of you. But thank you. Namaste. Namasko. I love you. And you I do love.